First celebrated in 1966, it honors the Pan-African family, values, and culture. Families around the world are lighting the Kinara. Well, here to share the principles and traditions of Kwanzaa is Reverend Dr. Debora Grant Scotland, pastor of Spring Hill AME Church. It's wonderful to have you with us.
It's good to be here.
And happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa to you.
Thank you so much. You know, Kwanzaa is one of those newer holidays, but it certainly honors generations upon generations of families all over the world. And
absolutely.
Maybe you can share with us exactly the meaning that it has, particularly today.
Well, Kwanzaa, let me just kind of share just a little bit more about it with regards to how it started. Out of the environment, the climate, back in the 60s, where African Americans were treated very poorly because of the color of our skin. And, protests broke out in Watts as a result of police officers dealing with two black men, and the community just became enraged and gathered. And as they gathered, the crowd got bigger, and it became more angry and really shouted out what we're hearing today, that our lives matter.
Yes.
And so as a result of that, the
So through kind of almost activism in a way.
Exactly,
right?
exactly, exactly.
So really to not necessarily forget certainly what happened during those times, but almost a rebirth in a way of and an appreciation of the culture, and to actually celebrate it.
Yeah, and actually to pull the people together.
Yes.
Because there's so much going on. We needed some reminder that our lives are important and we do have value.
Of course.
And so the Kwanzaa celebration was started to bring families and communities together.
Yes.
To celebrate themselves, to celebrate their culture, and our heritage in community. And of course with our families. So
absolutely. And how is it celebrated? Because I know that people who are familiar with the holiday, that there is a candelabra that you light 7 candles.
That's
it's
correct.
a little similar to Hanukkah in a
That's
way.
correct.
But how does it work exactly? How many candles are there, and what does each one represent?
They are 7 candles, and when families and communities come together in a very festive celebration, yes. They come together, and each night they light a candle. On the first, they light the black candle, the candle in the center. Each candle, they alternate red and green
yes.
each night as they light the candles, and there's 7 principles, and each of those principles are talked about, explored, and celebrated each night. And so like tonight, Wednesday, it's the Ujima, which means collective work and responsibility. So tonight families will gather, and they will begin with the pouring of libations in honor of their ancestors, and then many of them, the cup is passed, it's poured from the cup, the unity cup, and it's passed, and everyone takes a sip from it, and then the teaching begins. It's about knowing
yes.
your history. I heard the phrase many years ago, "Don't let your history be a mystery to you."
Oh yes.
And so it's about teaching your children for generations to come about who we are, our struggle, and how we made it through all that we have been through, and teaching the value of it, and so we celebrate with food and gift giving and fellowship,
yes.
and teaching, learning, crafts, all of that is a part of the Kwanzaa celebration.
And also, if I may say, what a wonderful way to not just end a year, but to actually begin the year.
That's right.
Because Kwanzaa will come right into the beginning of 2023, and with all these principles, be it family and self-responsibility and things that you endeavor to achieve in the following year, you start off with that mindset.
Right. That's right.
And a clean heart.
It's important that we recognize that these principles are not just for the 7 days or the days a week, but they're principles to live by 365 days of the year. 100%. And so when we talk about umoja, which is unity, pulling the community together, coming together as a community, loving ourselves and loving each other, you know, that's something that we want people to do all year long. And kujichagulia, which is self-determination, we need to teach our children, don't allow anyone to define you or put a limit on your possibilities. You've got to be determined within yourself to be the very best that God has created you to be. And these are principles that are not just confined, you know, within a period of time, but principles that should help to give a great foundation for not just our children, but even for ourselves to continue to live out. And then tonight, as it says, Ujima, and then Ujima, which is collective corporate economics, and Neo, which is purpose, which is one of my favorite, because I'm just one of those persons who believe that I have a purpose in life and a purpose for my people and a purpose for the church. And so it's important that I live out my purpose, and even as I shift in life and finding new purpose, you know, discovering that and really living it out.
I love that.
And then Imani, which is faith. Imani means faith, and to
in the face of hardship, to remember to always have faith. That there is always hope.
Well, absolutely.
Dr. Debora, I want to thank you so very much for sharing that with us, and a blessed and healthy and happy Kwanzaa to you.
And thank you, and the same to you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. We're back in 2 minutes.